Arlington, and welcome to Southern Sass Chats. My guest today is Shay Robbins, and she is an actress, a mom, and she's just wonderful and beautiful. And I can't wait for you guys to listen to what she has to say. So, welcome to Shay.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Thanks.
Shay. How are you?
You're so great. I do have a little bit of some allergies going on, so please excuse any congestion you hear, but I am doing so well and so happy to be here.
Great. I'm so happy you came on and made the time. I know that you're super busy. You're a mom of two young daughters.
Yes, two little ones. I've got she's four now. I have a 4-year-old, Sadie is her name, and then I have a baby. She's 14 months now. I love that we go by like months when they're little. And then at a certain point, it's like, now you're just two, now you're just three. But I wonder how that all started with like 14 months, 15 months. She's just one, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her name is Ruby.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Did I not say your name? Ruby. Yes.
I was looking
Not
earlier
child.
trying to remember. Yeah. So and you're married to Brad Robbins, who is in the band Gentry.
Yes, exactly. My husband Brad, so Gentry, short for the Gentleman Trio, is a tenor trio of three wonderful gentlemen. One of which, so my husband Brad, and then one of the members of the group, actually Casey Elliott. He and I have starred in a couple of films together. So it's, kind of fun that we've grown this group in this business and then also work together, in this department as well as like film and TV. So it's been pretty fun. But Gentry has been just such a wonderful thing for our family. And now to share it with our little girls, they
Yeah.
are actually performing right now. They have, well, not today, but they have a 3-week residency at a local theater where they're kind of releasing their new Broadway album. So they're singing a lot of Broadway content, originals. So they are busy, busy, busy right now. But I went opening week on Monday and it was so good. And I'm going again tomorrow night. So big fan of my husband, big fan of Gentry.
I love it. I was looking them up and reading a little bit about them and listening to some of their music as well. And I do remember hearing about them a little bit from Great American Family. I believe they played one of their sets or something. They did some type of little mini movie or something at Christmas one year. And that's the first time I heard of them. And they're so talented. And so are you.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
So, and I do notice that you have worked with Casey Elliott and that he is also in the band with your husband. Do you all sit around and laugh about that and what it's like to work together and play a romantic couple?
Yes, I would be lying if I didn't say, like, yeah, we laugh about that. Like, initially, when we were cast in this film, Destined at Christmas, which I'm sure we'll talk about, I remember the production company asked us, they're like, okay, look, we have you guys in mind. We had like a smaller role in this film that we did. We were husband and wife, but like we had like one line together. He was like kind of didn't have many lines in the movie. He was just like the dad that everybody like looked up to. It was really fun. But so we're like, hey, how do you guys feel about starting across from each other? And we looked at each other like, let us think about it, because we're like family,
Yeah.
been like family for like 10 years. My husband and him are like best friends. And so, but we grew up in this theater world, both my husband and I. Casey, his wife Zerelda, Casey's been on national tours, and so she gets it. We all get it. And so it's like, but at first we're like, I don't know. But it's a job like any other. And we had
Yeah.
the most wonderful time shooting. He is just so lovely to work with. Like, because I've, been friends, family with them, with his family for years, but being able to work with him on this film set and his daughter, Eve, who played his daughter in the film. Fantastic, by the way. She is so adorable. And so in Destined at Christmas 1 and Destined at Christmas 2 was just such a great experience. He is such a giving person in real life. And that just translated over to screen. So it was a great
That
time.
makes such a big difference when you're working with someone that you're comfortable with. And
Yes.
because when people are on the outside and they see, oh, it's filming, they just think they romanticize the entire process, that it's just all fun, and it is fun. I've worked background, and I also grew up in theater and all the things, and so it's fun, but it's still work, and you're there for long days, and sometimes it's super hot, and you're dressing for Christmas. And or you're just not feeling the best, and you're having to fight through that. And so when you have a giving partner like Casey to work with, it just makes your experience that much better, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Like you nailed everything on the head because you're right. They are such long film days, 12, 14-hour days. Sometimes you're shooting through the night. Like I was just recently, we had 3 or 4 night shoots in a row where, my call time's like 2 or 3 p.m. And then I don't get back to my hotel till 4, 5, 6 a.m. And we're all exhausted. We're trying to get the last scene before the sun comes up, and so if you're not enjoying the people you're working with, like when you're tired, you get irritable pretty fast. And
Yeah.
so fortunately, I have been blessed to have such wonderful crews and castmates and co-stars that I worked with. But yeah, you can get pretty exhausted. And you're right, you do Christmas movies in the middle of summer and you're wearing hot clothing. And so, yeah, so it just really helps when you've got wonderful people to work with.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you a question as far as Destin, since we're on that path right now. I heard that there was supposed to be a third Destined movie, and I've seen people asking about that. And I know you just filmed a different Christmas movie. Have you heard anything or anything that you can share about the possibility of the third one with the wedding?
I am hopeful that it is still going to happen. Last I heard, that was the plan. So I'm hoping that is still the plan. But, people get busy, everyone's just trying to run the business. And so I'm still kind of like waiting to see like what's next and if we're, going to get the green light for sure. But I know the fans want it. Casey and I want it. Eve wants it, his daughter. So we want it to happen. I'm just waiting for the green light. So
Yes.
fingers
We're going to put it out there for you now, because I do know a lot of the fans have really enjoyed those movies, really connected to the story and the characters. And I've seen the comments of people asking, because I go around and look at the different sites, and I've seen the comments of people asking, when are we getting Destin 3? That's what we want. We want the culmination. We want them to get married.
Yes. A wedding in a beautiful dress. Like, I just think that would be so fun.
It was.
So I think that's the plan. Again, I'm just waiting for the green light. Green light. Timing is always an issue, and so just making sure everybody's schedules are on track. And so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yes, that's right. So if you're listening to this, anyone at Great American Family, Shay's ready. She said, yeah, let's do it.
Great American Family say, hey, when's Destined 3 happening?
Exactly. I actually was invited to be their guest author for June for their book club. So that was fun to talk with Cammie and Father Randy and see people there. So I enjoyed that a lot. That was really fun. And I started looking into more of what they had coming up for Christmas and their summer movies, that what they're adding right now, and their TV series they've got coming up and whatnot. So I pay attention to all the brands, all the networks, Up TV as well, Hallmark, of course, because I'll get to that in a second. But so I think clean and sweet TV is what a lot of people want to see, and I love that we still have the opportunity to bring those stories to life, and the networks are still caring enough to do that for us. So I think that's great.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I was saying this to my family the other day, but I've been so fortunate to have this relationship and to have done a few movies now with Great American Family, and they've just been so wonderful to me. And I just love and admire all the things that they stand for. Truly is faith, family, and country. Mm-hmm. And I just love that I can go and make a movie and create content that I can be proud of, that my kids can watch, that is wholesome, that, you know, in my most recent movie, like the main overall theme of it was Jesus, and unapologetically so. And I
Yeah,
just think that's amazing. Like how many networks and streaming services do that, you
that's true.
know?
That's true.
So pretty cool. But yeah, you're
That's true.
right.
Yeah. And I'm leaning into that. So it's been announced, so we can talk about was Christmas tell us the exact title about the something with Christmas blessings.
A Christmas list of blessings.
That's it. And that was filmed in Winnipeg with Chris Russell.
Yes.
Have you filmed in Winnipeg or anywhere in Canada before?
I have not. I've been to Canada before, never Winnipeg. So that was my first time, and I had the best experience. It was so great.
That sounds amazing because I wanted to ask you a little bit about that, being just filming in Winnipeg in general and working with that team, because my book Autumn at Apple Hill was adapted for a movie and it was for Hallmark Channel, and some of the team that you would have worked with were the production company who was behind it. So Anthony Fankhauser, I think it was Anthony there. So, yeah, Nicholas Humphreys didn't direct, but some of the productions crew and people who were involved with Autumn at Apple Hill.
What?
And yeah, and I actually had a guest on last week, Derek Kuhn, who had a small role in that movie with you guys. I don't know his character's name right now. He wasn't sure if it had come out and been announced, so we didn't like delve into that. But I saw his name on the IMDb list that he had been in it. So I know he had a small part, and he was in Apple Hill. And then I talked with another actress, Sarah Luby, who also was in Apple Hill. So I've been talking with all the Peggers, the Winnipeggers this past week.
I love it. I would say this about Winnipeg: some of the kindest people I have ever met. Like just good to the soul, like so accommodating, always looking out for me, checking in with me, like just beautiful.
Salt to the earth.
Yes, salt to the earth. That's the term I was looking for.
I love that. I love that. I've only heard good things, and my experience just talking with them during the filming of the movie, with the messaging me and sending me behind the scenes pictures. They all seem so nice, and I appreciated that a lot too. So I was sure that you had a great experience working up there.
And also, let's talk about how amazing that is that your book was adapted to a film. Like, congratulations to you. Like, amazing.
It is. It really is amazing. It was a dream come true. I have others that have been pitched. I'm waiting on some answers for different places. I am very happy with any of them. I will work with any of the networks. So I'm super happy when anyone even shows an interest. And when the producers coming to me and saying, "Hi, we'd like to pitch your book," that just makes me feel some validation right there, that I feel like I'm writing something that relates and resonates with the type of audience I'm trying to reach. So it's amazing. And I couldn't have asked for better people. Aaron Cahill and Wes Brown. I'm looking at my picture up here on my wall, but Aaron Cahill and Wes Brown brought my main characters to life. Everyone in the cast was wonderful. And And so what was it like working with Chris Russell?
He was lovely. He's hilarious. Thing I probably will never forget about working with Chris, other than he is an incredibly talented actor, great scene partner, truly like just made it so seamless and effortless just acting across from him. So I really enjoyed working with him in that aspect. But one thing I'll never forget about him, hopefully he doesn't hate me for saying this, but he had hamburgers in Ziploc bags all the time. He would be driving back and he'd just be eating this hamburger out of this bag, trying to get his protein in for the day. I just thought it was the funniest thing because I don't think it mattered to him if they were hot or cold. He just needed the burger. But I'd tease him about it, but it was hilarious.
He must have to get his protein in. I'm guessing that heavy protein or something, and probably less carbs. Because you look at Chris and burgers don't look like they're a problem for him. So it must be a protein thing that goes with his workout regimen.
Yeah, totally. I honestly, I love that about him. He just like didn't care. He's just gonna eat his burger out of his bag, and it was hilarious. And but yeah, he was super lovely person. You know, and again, when you meeting somebody for the first time, you know, I'd heard of him. I'd, you know, seen the thing or two that he's been in, you know, and so you never know what you're gonna get. And
Yeah.
I was very happy working with him. Just wonderful person. And again, very talented actor. So that was a great experience.
That's awesome. And if you see me fidgeting, I'm trying not to have so much yellow light washing over me here. I keep moving it because I've been washed out before from my light coming in. So I decided to put my ring light over, but I'm like, it's making me look so yellow. I'm trying to kind of move it and get balanced over here, but ignore me. So. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is a project you did last year that seemed very near and dear to your heart when you got to play the role of Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I didn't know you're going to bring that up. Yes.
Yeah, I saw your TikTok videos that you had shared on your Instagram and your comments about it. And I'm not sure if it was like your community theater or a regional theater or something in Utah, but it looked like you had the best time and you just played it. I mean, you just looked like you were made to play Belle.
Oh, thank you. It truly was an experience I'll never forget. It was a theater here. I actually just live 15 minutes from this theater called the Hale Center Theater, and it's the highest attended community theater in the world, I think.
Oh, wow.
In the US, but the stage was designed and created by Cirque du Soleil. Like it lifts, it rotates. They have people that fly and do airlifts from the sky. Like what they can do there is unmatched for theater. You know, the closest thing would be Cirque du Soleil or Broadway, truly.
I was gonna say that's like Utah's Broadway.
Not really. So the fact that that's 15 minutes from my home, I feel so grateful, and the people there are so wonderful. But yeah, being able to play Belle, I just love, you know, I played Disney princesses before, and clearly I love playing them. But now having a daughter who is old enough to come see mommy and appreciate it, like I don't think, you know, there will be a role that I will love more than the first, other than the role of a mother.
Right.
That is my greatest role in life. But just having her come see me, I remember like it was the top of the show, and it's right before Little Town, and I'm about to sing that number, and I get unveiled from this giant rose. All these dancers are holding these petals, and the first little ding of the music starts, and I hear in the silence my daughter yelling, "Hi, mommy. Hi, mommy." And I'm holding my book in my basket, and I'm just trying so hard not to cry. I started to cry a little bit, but I was like, "Shae, you got to sing, like focus." But it just meant the world to me. And the fact that, like, you know, my husband supported me. It was about 5 months from start to finish between rehearsals and performances. It was a gauntlet. And he has just always told me, "Shae, you say yes to whatever opportunity that comes your way that you want to do, and we'll figure it out." And he came and saw me 13 times. And then
that's wonderful.
2 or 3 times, but yeah, it was just such a lovely role. My dress was gorgeous. The set was unreal. And yeah, it truly was a magical experience. And sharing that with my family, especially my little girl, I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Yes. And I mean, how cool to them to see mommy dressed up like that and just, you know, oh wow. And I know your youngest is too young right now to quite get it, but when they look back, these are pictures when they're older that you can go back and share, and you know, maybe they can play those roles, and like, you know, someday you can have side by side photos or something. That would just be amazing. So you're like setting that in motion for them now, and you know, making those memories that are wonderful. I mean, who doesn't want to play a princess and have their mom play a princess? I mean, yeah, that's
right.
Just childhood dream right there, just to do it.
Morning, like my daughter still dresses up, like we have a little costume for her, and she's always like, "Mom, I want to keep practicing so I can be on the big stage like you and Daddy." and she's got great little voice already. Yes, I'm a little biased, but I am honest.
Yeah.
She this morning brought this necklace to me that she had made that had a little Belle like doll on it. She's like, Mom, I made it for you, for Princess Belle, like you were. So the fact that she's still remembering this at such a young age, and like it impacted her so much, just like, I couldn't be more thrilled. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully she will remember this, and I am showing her and example of like, look, you can have it all. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be a mom and be a wonderful mother, and you can also have a career, and you can have a family, and so it's just, hopefully I'm helping raise her right and teaching her good values and principles and leading by example as her mother.
And that was two things I was going to touch on was one, um, when you're talking about singing,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask two questions and you just pick which one you want to go with first. Have
Okay.
you ever performed with Brad in a duet type situation other than maybe karaoke? And how do you balance mom life with work and all the things? That's going to be a longer answer. So you just pick which one you want to dive into there.
Start with the Brad question. So he and I have never sung together on stage. The only time we've sung together is in church. And we've sung together in church many times. We have this one arrangement that there's our go-to. It's How Great Thou Art. But yeah, we have never sung together on stage. We've been in a show together 10 years ago. It was Les Mis. He was playing Marius, and the other guys in Gentry actually were like Valjean and Enjolras, and I was in the ensemble then. So that's the only thing we've done together. But believe it or not, we were invited to be guest artists with this choir and orchestra in Las Vegas in November at the Smith Center. So I think it's all a youth or a high school choir and orchestra. So this will be the first time he and I have like sung a duet together on stage. So it's kind of a big deal for us. So we're
Yeah.
really excited. But yeah, first time in 12 years. Yeah, crazy.
I was going to say, if you haven't, that's something you need to aspire to, but it seems like it's already in motion. So that's great.
In the
Can't wait
works.
to see video clips shared of that to pop up of the two of you doing that.
I'll be sure to share. And then to answer your second question, which was how do I balance mom and work life? Yeah, it is. I mean, every mother knows this. It is a juggling act. It truly is. And you need a team of people who are there to support you. And that team starts with your partner or your spouse. And Brad has been the most wonderful and supportive spouse to me throughout the years, and knew how important it was for me to continue to have something that was me and
Mm-hmm.
for me. Because I was afraid before we had children, I was scared. I was really scared of becoming a mom. I
Yeah.
was afraid of losing myself. Even though I knew being a mother is the greatest job and role in the whole world, I was still afraid because I spent my whole life training and dreaming and wanting to be, initially the dream was on Broadway. And so, but he always told me, he's like, we will figure it out. We will figure it out. And we have done just that. I've been fortunate to have family close and a mother who is just beyond supportive and a father who's there to help her as well. And so they'll help take my kids sometimes. And, I have to reach out to little girls in my neighborhood that will help and babysit and things sometimes. But it's a team effort.
Yeah.
But I definitely try to make sure that I am prioritizing my time with my kids.
You have
Um,
your village in place, and that makes that helps.
yeah,
I'm sure that just makes all the difference when because I mean, it's hard enough just balancing it all with a regular job. But when you're having a career that takes like your husband away for a while or you're away for a couple of weeks, I mean, that's even more challenging. So, your village of your neighbors and friends and family and church friends, I mean, all of that together, I'm sure you guys have an amazing support system and that helps a lot.
yeah. So we've been very blessed in that department. But yeah, it's like truly, if we couldn't do it without the support of each other, and just like we just get it, we understand like this is how it's going to be. If I'm gone for 3 weeks, like I was in Canada filming, like it's temporary. This is just a quick blip, and then when I come home, we prioritize time together as a family.
Yeah.
So we always just try to make family number one. yeah, and then support each other through the different career opportunities as
Yeah, I see. I was looking through your Instagram for some, things I wanted to talk about too. And I saw like the best Halloween costumes for you and Brad and your kids. I mean, you guys really look so cute and all of these things. You can tell that you like to have a lot of fun together.
Oh, we do. And my daughter loves to dress up. Like she's already trying to plan what she wants to do this year as a family for Halloween. Haven't even thought twice about it. But yeah, we do. We like to go on trips. We like to, just go camping, just anything that is being together. You don't have to go on a big trip to spend time with each other. You can do something right at home and make
Yeah.
special memories and yeah.
Yeah, just trying to find that time to make the time for each other. I'm sure that's just, that's important. Whether you're a mom or mom and a wife or just anyone, any scenario, you have to have the time for yourself and you have to have the time for those who you love and are important to you, because otherwise you're just going to be sad and you're going to get anxious and everything stressful just overwhelms you. I mean, and when you can take a break and remember all of the blessings that you do have and spend that time with people that you love, it helps to just keep you centered and balanced.
Yep. You said it better. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. How did you get into acting?
Yeah, so I first got into acting. So I grew up in the dance world at a young age. I was dancing, and then I decided I want to try my hand at theater. And so first I was acting primarily in theater. I got my degree in music dance theater from Brigham Young University. And from there, I was like, okay, well, Broadway's a dream. It had been a dream and a goal of mine since I was a little girl. But I also got married young. I got married at 21. Brad had a career. He had a great job working at Adobe. I spent 3 summers doing like summer stock theater at a local professional theater down like 4 hours from our home, trying to earn enough points to join the union, Actors Equity Association. And I did, and I was like, okay, like I've got to make this decision. Like, are we going to make the move? Are we going to go to New York? And it was hard because it would mean Brad would have to sacrifice a lot, but it'd also be a sacrifice on my end to kind of give up that dream. Is how it felt at the time. I'd be giving that up, and so I just was wrestling internally with that decision. And I remember there was one day I was driving to the theater, and the theater set in the Red Rocks, beautiful southern Utah, imagine Zion National Park, just gorgeous. And I was just having a conversation with God in the car, and it was like immediate, overwhelming feeling of peace. And him telling me, now is not the time. You need to be home. And I think he knew how much I needed to hear that because, again, this was a dream I'd had since I was a little girl. And I just got that confirmation, that peace, that New York and Broadway, that dream is not right for you right now, but I have something else in store.
Yeah.
And so from there, I decided, okay, I'm going to stay home. What am I going to do? There's a great film, commercial TV industry in Utah. And so I got with an agent and then slowly started doing some commercial work, TV, and then got into film. And then it's kind of led into this aspect of my career and doing these wonderful, beautiful faith and holiday filmed movies.
Now
So,
it's your time. The
yeah.
time that you were trusting the timing. And now as you've had a time for different things. With everything, there's a season, but now is your time for this part of your life that you really enjoy. Not taking away from anything from, being a mom and a wife and all the things, but you're getting to shine in the ways that you wanted to professionally also. So
Totally.
and you're really blossoming because your roles are starting to come more and more.
Yeah, they are. And I've been so humbled and grateful. And, the Lord, he has a plan. And I just tried to really put my faith and trust in him. And he has just helped guide me along the way. And so
Yeah,
it's really wonderful.
that's awesome. And let's see if I tried to give myself some questions. I wing a lot of my discussions, but um, and you were kind of answering this there, but your faith is important to you. How does that lead you in your daily life outside of the acting world? how does that just like, how do you guide yourself with your decisions that you make as far as your faith and how to incorporate that with, just being a mom and like going to church and things like that? Are you involved with any of like your ladies groups at church or anything like that? Like, how do you incorporate your faith into your daily life?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, I think the one thing that brings me the most peace is, just having a relationship with God and knowing that I have that relationship with Him and I can turn to Him anytime, anywhere, any time of day. So if I am struggling or if I need help with a decision, I can just kneel down and turn to Him in prayer.
Yeah.
So I would say that's how I'm guided on a daily basis, and just like, what do I do for my kids here? What should I do for myself? Like, how can I be serving the people in my community and my church? And so, yeah, prayer is just something I look to often for help and guidance on a daily basis. And I am involved in my church. I have, I guess, responsibility. We'll be assigned responsibilities or callings, or what they're called, and just kind of like helping serve within the congregation. And my calling is I'm the music coordinator, which is fitting. So I basically help select the hymns that we'll sing in our main meeting each week, and I'll find special musical numbers and for people to come and sing in between different speakers sharing their testimony and things like that. And so I'm also involved in my church, and we do things with people in our neighborhood and in the church community on a regular basis. And so, yeah, but just the biggest thing that brings me peace is knowing that I've got that relationship with a loving Heavenly Father who knows and loves me just the same as He knows and loves all of His children.
That's right.
So,
That's right. And everyone's relationship, people worship differently, and everyone has their relationship with God. Like, I feel like, sometimes it's personal for me. I may not go to church every week, but that doesn't mean that I don't have my time with God when I still pray. I still, recognize when there's a blessing, or recognize when He's trying to tell me that I need to do something a little bit differently than maybe I'm wanting to handle a situation, and things like that. So, having that connection is important. And then like for me, like I will look up, if I'm struggling with something, I'll start looking up, like scripture or just even quotes of affirmation that may not necessarily be, from the Bible, but just things that help to relax anxieties and things like that. And then I will find like a certain scripture, that I feel like, oh, this verse resonates with me today. And so I think we all need that sometimes. And that's great. I think that your faith is very important to you. It obviously shines through in everything that you're doing, and in the roles that you play. I mean, you're choosing to take on roles that are fun and lighthearted, but feel very, wholesome and relatable, and just, something that will give people a little bit of enjoyment in a world
yeah.
of chaos, which is great.
And what I loved, also beautifully said, and you're right, in the scripture is another perfect way on the daily you can easily turn to for peace. And so I love that you mentioned that as well. But, you're talking about how I, do these films, and with this most recent one, A Christmas List of Blessings in Winnipeg, like the message was, heavily focused on Jesus. And my character is this illustrator who wants to write a children's book that brings more Jesus into Christmas. And she comes across this list that this little girl had written. And instead of like clothing or toys for Christmas, she wants Jesus to answer blessings for other people. Which,
oh, wonderful.
I know, tell me about it. When I wrote the script, I think Ansley Gordon wrote the script. Beautiful. I was like, wow, like this theme, this message, like we need more of this, especially at Christmas time. And so my character is inspired by this list, and she's like, okay. And she creates this, cute children's book. And I won't give too much away. But at the same time, she's like, I want to help be an instrument in God's hand and answer these blessings for this little girl. And this little girl's dad is Chris Russell, played by Chris Russell. And anyway, it's just a beautiful story, beautiful message. And I truly felt like myself grow closer to God while filming it because of like the theme and some of the scenes in it. I don't know, it just felt very personal and close to home. And so I'm really proud of this one, and I'm excited for fans to see it.
I love it because I was gonna that was gonna be one of my next things was how does this particular it's like where I'm going. Um how will because your faith is important and this movie deals so heavily with a direct storyline based around granting blessings and bringing people closer to Jesus. How do you feel about making this movie? Like how was the experience, and did you feel like you were being led to it or anything while you were there, or did you feel like you were being kind of watched over in this movie in some way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was alone, like in my hotel room for 3 weeks, and yeah, I was with people on set. But then we had the weekends off, and I was missing my kids.
Yeah.
And so it just gave me a lot of time in between filming and memorizing and stuff to just kind of reflect. And then again with the content of the script and some of the scenes that we did, there was one scene in particular where Chris's character and mine were hanging some ornaments on a tree, and I'm talking about this ornament that like signified grace that my grandmother gave me when I was little to like remind myself, give yourself some grace. You might not feel the smartest, most beautiful, whatever now, but someday you're going to bloom into this beautiful swan. And I just related so much to that scene. And then there's also another time where my character is kneeling in prayer, and there's just this beautiful prayer that she gives, just basically like, I'm going to give myself over to you, Lord. I just need you to help me, and that's just kind of how I felt throughout the whole experience, missing my kids and being away and filming. And so it just was so beautiful. I really did feel like my relationship with my savior like just grew closer, and just the overall theme and message of the film. I think it might be top 2 movies I've done so far.
This is sounding like a very special project for you.
Yeah.
Really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one sounds okay, you guys. This is a must watch this year. It's A Christmas List of Blessings.
Yep. A
And
Christmas
Christmas
blessing.
List of Blessings. And as Shae will be starring with Christopher Russell for that movie on Great American Family and Pure Flix this Christmas season. And to wrap things up, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
So you just kind of give me your first thoughts that come to mind, and they're all easy. Like first, like what is your favorite season?
Fall.
Mine too.
I love in anything. And so fall and just the clothes, it's perfect.
Love fall. Um, if you have a choice, cooking or getting takeout.
As soon as you said cooking, I was like, whatever the next option is, getting takeout. We are never home at the same time. So it's like, why am I going to just cook a big meal for just me? Also, my kids are so picky. So I'm door dashing almost every day.
Yeah, I'm guilty of the DoorDash too.
It's great, but it's like also I feel like I'm wasting money because I'm like, I could have just driven 5 minutes and picked this up, but I
I
don't want
know.
to in a car.
I know. I know. My laziness is I'm like, I feel like I'm being lazy, but I'm like, no, I have so much to do. At least you have the excuse of having 2 children at home.
You have your excuses too. We're all busy. We all have things going on, so it's
um, Cake or pie?
fine. Ooh, pie.
Pie. Which is your
Yeah.
favorite?
Ooh, like a warm apple pie.
I was gonna say bonus if you say apple.
Yep, apple pie.
um, Beach or lake?
Beach. Absolutely. I just think, I mean, I'm terrified of sharks. So I love to look at the ocean. And
Yes.
the only like ocean I'll swim in like far and snorkel is like Kauai.
Yeah.
Even though I know there's sharks there, I feel safe there for some reason. But yeah.
Same. We went to Hawaii.
Really?
And I was like floating around on some type of like bodyboard thing or whatever, and like a paddleboard. It was a paddleboard, and I'm like, I'm not good at paddleboarding, but I'm just gonna float on this thing. And I kind of floated off like further than I was supposed to, and I just kind of looked up, and I was like over here somewhere to the side, and people are starting to look, and I'm like, okay, let's not get upset. Let's just start paddling on back. And I paddled on back, but you know, the waves, it wasn't like really like heavy waves or anything. This was in like, was it Wailea in Maui.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was the waves were, it wasn't like beach waves here on the East Coast where I live, or definitely not like West Coast. But it was just okay, let me paddle on back, and it was so nice. And like you said, it's like you feel like safer for some reason there. I don't know.
Oh, I know there's still sharks, but I don't know. I've always had good experiences in that water, so I'm like, I'm just gonna choose to believe that they are further out than where I am.
Yes, yes, yes. Maybe it's because it's so much water in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
area. And you're like, they've got a lot of places they can go.
Yeah, not right by me.
Yeah. Yeah. Reading or watching TV?
I wish the answer was reading, but watching TV. I probably because like, as a mom, like I need to check out and that's how I check out, but I would love to read more.
Mhm.
I just don't. But yeah, I need to.
I would like to read more. It's funny because there's this misconception that when people are writers, that they must read all the time. And I'm like, no, we really don't. I mean, we read and we read and we enjoy, but sometimes if I'm reading, I want to read in a different genre than I write because
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm telling someone else's story. It like, bleeds over into what I'm writing.
Yep.
So a lot of times when I'm writing, I might read one book and it's in a different genre. But yeah, I mean, I like to read. I like to listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
But I like to watch TV a lot also. So
They're all
do
great.
you feel guilty because you're talking to a writer for saying watching
I'd like
TV?
to clarify that because I would have assumed the same thing. Oh, you're a writer. You must read all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, people think that. And, a lot of writers will say, you know what, I hardly ever read. I mean, I used to, but once I started writing, I feel guilty if I'm reading because I should be using that time writing.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel that way, but I've heard people say that.
Interesting.
For me, it's just I write when I feel like it. When the inspiration hits, then I write. Otherwise, but sometimes I watch TV because I get inspirations. Like a little scene will hop up and I'll like, oh, you know what? That would be a nice twist. Maybe I can find my way to tell something like that in a different way, but the idea is there. So,
Totally.
yeah, and from, watching Hallmark movies is what got me into writing more than reading Sophie Kinsella and some of the chick lit books that I've always liked too. So,
Yes, yes. Love it.
yeah. And the final thing I'm going to ask is not even on my little list over here. So, let me see. What do I want my last thing to watch? The question. Okay. Oh no, I did have one other thing. If someone could play you in a biopic of your life, who would you like that person to be?
Kristen Bell.
I can,
Easily. I just think she is such I mean, I've never met her. Let's be real. I have not met Kristen Bell. I wish I have, but she just seems like such a down to earth, grounded, lovely human being. And what's funny is I've been told so many times throughout my life that I I'm not saying like, oh, I remind them of Kristen Bell after I just said all these wonderful qualities about her. That's not what I'm saying. But just like my mannerisms, some of my like humor, people are like, oh yeah, it's giving me like Kristen Bell vibes.
I
But
was just going to say that. I see that. And I see a little bit of her in your face and your expressions and just the way that you speak and carry yourself. Like I can see that. I really, yeah, I can definitely see it.
yeah, I get that a lot. And so I'm like, she seems like a good fit. And I just love her as an actress, and just as a person. I just think she's so charming, so adorable. So yeah, if I was ever famous enough one day, doubt that will happen, and she could play me. Wow, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it. I like it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
And your one final thing you can say as a plug, what is your top movie? If people were to go out right now for something that's already out, what would be one movie you would tell everyone that you've been in that they should go and watch?
Oh, that I've been in. I was like, that I've seen. Been in.
You can do both. Tell us
Yeah.
both.
Let's see. Well, I just saw Freakier Friday the other night, and that was cute. It was cute. I enjoyed that one. That was a fun time.
I've gotta watch it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. But I would say, I mean, A Christmas List of Blessings is coming out. So if that one is out, I'd be like, watch that one because I really do love the message. But the Destined at Christmas series, I also hold near and dear to my heart, especially the second one. I think the second one is really charming. But yeah, I'd say both of those movies. And if I was to throw in one more, Passport to Love. I had fun
Oh yeah.
shooting that one.
Did you have fun filming that? Didn't you go to several locations for that?
Yeah, I went to Turkey, I went to Scotland, Finland, which was actually just Utah in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And and Tahiti. I forgot, and Tahiti. So yeah, being able to travel all these wonderful, amazing places with the crew and team of people that were just the best to work with. It was just such a fun movie to make.
Oh. And it's Candlelight Media. They make a lot of the movies that you're in, right?
Yeah, they have made, I think they've done maybe 5 or 6 with them. But yeah, great production company. And then, they'll pitch or sell their movies to other networks and things.
And they're based in Utah too, right?
Based in Utah.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah, I thought I had looked them up. And your movies can be found on Great American Family and Great American Pureflix, but for others who stream, they're on a lot of streaming apps too, right? Can't you find many of them if you don't have that?
Yeah, I think Roku, Prime Video, they have their own like streaming YouTube channel or something called Spark TV. I think you watch a lot of Candlelight Media's content there as well. So yeah, several places to check out.
So there's no reason why you can't find Shae's movies if you stream and if you watch cable TV, which I really want cable TV to stick around because I think it's important and my parents cannot stream. So, there are a lot of older people who just don't understand it. And so I don't want to see linear go away. I'm actually the kind of person who enjoys flipping on the TV and seeing what's on right now instead of spending 30 minutes trying to decide what I want to watch from 100 things.
Yes. Like what I watch today versus scroll down and be like, here's my list I can choose from. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because sometimes I get overwhelmed with Netflix or one of the apps. I'm like, okay, I just want to see something comfortable that I'm used to. And I'll go turn on like a rerun of something and then say, oh, this movie is coming on. I'll watch that too, or whatever, when my husband, is not controlling the remote. Yeah. So as far as network television, you can find Shae's movies on Great American Family. Yeah. And I have maybe Dove TV might be, my camera froze. Dove TV might carry them or the Dove channel if they have that on network. A few different ones, but mostly Great American.
It's new. So everybody check out GFAM Plus.
Oh, that's right. GFAM Plus. Yep. That's right. You got all the options. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shae, for coming on and talking with me today. I appreciate it. You've been so lovely.
Oh, Angie, you are an incredible host, an incredible interviewer. Congrats on your podcast. I'm so thrilled for you and wish you all the success.
Thank you. We can't wait to tune into your movie this Christmas, and hopefully fans will get that Destined 3 movie also.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.